Dear students, in this video, we are taking examples. Examples of different kinds, divergence, boundedness, monotonicity. So this is a compilation of all these types of examples. So now some examples on divergence. Here we are having 5 examples. So in first one, the sequence n diverges to infinite. Second example is sequence minus n square diverges to minus infinite. Third, sequence n square diverges to infinite. Fourth one, sequence log 1 by n diverges to minus infinite. And fifth is the sequence 2 raised to the power n diverges to infinite. So we will take one by one. So here first one. Here first one will be proved with the help of Archimedean property, which we have already discussed in when we are discussing the real numbers. So here let k be any positive number, because we want to prove that the sequence is a divergent sequence. So let k be any, divergence means what? Here we will apply the basic definition of divergence. So here is this, that means this type of, if you take any bound, still you are getting few numbers which are greater than that. That's why this is unbounded above, that's why diverges to infinite. This is the only definition we will use this. So if you take any k number, then you have to find out that number. So if k is any number, so you have to find out this number for which these terms are greater than this number. So only the requirement is that you have to find out this number to be evaluated. If this number exists, then we can say that sequence is divergent. Fine. So here by Archimedean property, we know that if you take any number, then still you can find out some number with the help of Archimedes which is greater than this number. So for this number k, we can easily find out a positive integer m such that m is greater than k. Here k be any real positive number. However, m is a positive integer. This is integer. Here is only a number. This is the only difference. Fine. So this implies, now if you take any number n greater than equals to m, but we have assumed that m is greater than k, then this inequality holds. N is greater than k, which is the required, this inequality holds. If you take any number m is greater than k, then, so if you pick for all n greater than equal to m, but m is greater than k, so this inequality holds. That means n is greater than k. That means for all, what is sequence an is n, an is your n. So you can replace this n by an. So an is greater than k for all choices of n greater than equals to m, because this is your an, actually this is your an which is greater than k, and n is greater than equals to m. So that's why sequence is divergence. We have evaluated this number m for which this inequality holds. That's why sequence diverges. Fine. Now the second part. Here the sequence is minus n square. Again, target is to find out m. For this m. So to find out this number, what we will do? We will start with our sequence. So we will apply the backward direction. So what is our target? Since we want to show that an, which is minus n square, tends to minus infinite, and by the definition we have to show that, what is the definition of divergence? Here an is, we have to prove that an is less than some k, where k is a negative number. But if k, we are selecting, we are taking positive k greater than 0, then we have to take minus k here. Fine. So either you can select negative number, then you can take an is less than k. If you are taking positive k, then you have to take this. Fine. So here we have used it because k is positive selected, that's why an is less than minus k. This is our target, and for this target we have to find out m. So now substitute the value of an, which is minus n square less than minus k. When you multiply by minus sign, n square is greater than k, but k is positive number, so n square is positive. So n, from here you can easily find out n is greater than k, square root of k. So suppose, for example, just for brevity, here n is greater than k. So if you remember this definition, here we have to find out the positive integer. However, k is any real number. So similarly here, this root k is any real number, any positive real number. However, m is, or here our target is to find out m, positive integer, to be evaluated, fine. For example, suppose k is 2, just take example. Then what is root 2? Root 2 is 1.414 something. So our target is to find out that number which is greater than this root 2. This is integer, positive integer, close to root 2, close to root 2. So obviously m will be 2, so that's why here we have not selected, but this is just an example. So for this choice we can take any positive integer which is close to m is greater than root k, then this inequality holds. So that's why in this case, whatever be k, immediately you can find out. For example, here if your k is 2, then you can find out m is 2. If suppose k is 3, then the number will be root 3, which is again 2. If you take 4, then the number will be 2. If you take 5, root 5, which will be nothing but 3. So that's why depending upon k you can find out that number, but you can find out, you can easily evaluate. That's why there exists a number, and so we can say that this sequence diverges to minus infinite. Fine. So based on the same concept, these are the example. Third example, kn. So here the sequence is an square. So positive sequence and diverges to infinite. So again we will apply this. So now we will start with an is greater than k and try to find out that number. An is n square, which is greater than k. So n is square root of k. So we can pick any positive integer, positive this. If we take positive integer which is greater than root k, then again this inequality holds. So an is greater than k for all choices of n greater than equals to n. Because if we take for example k is 2, so you have to take root 2 greater than this number. So here is close number of root 2 is 2. This number is root 2 and the close number, this is your m. So if you take any number here, n may be here. So for these choices of n, this inequality always holds. So this is written here. For all choices of this number, this inequality always holds. That's why again the sequence is divergent sequence. Fine. Similarly here, next sequence is log 1 by n. So this sequence we have to show that this sequence diverges to minus infinite. So we will apply this. K is taken as a positive number, so that's why an is less than minus k, and put log 1 by n is less than minus k. Then take the exponent, you can rewrite this as minus of log n less than minus k, multiply by minus sign. So log n is greater than k, then n is greater than e raised to the power k. Take the exponential of this. So e raised to the power k will be a real number, a positive real number. So you can find out a closed integer, suppose m. So m is greater than this number, and that's why en is less than k for all n greater than equals to m. So here on the real line, we will get some e raised to the power k, and for this we are getting some number m which is close to this. This is any real number, this is positive integer, and for all choices of n, here, this inequality holds, and that's why this is written here. So again this sequence is a divergent sequence. Fine, I think you understood. Now the next example is this. Let k is positive number, k is greater than 0 be given, and the sequence is 2 raised to the power n. Again try to find out this number. So this sequence is, we have to show that the sequence is divergent sequence towards positive infinite. So n is greater than k, 2 raised to the power n is greater than k. So take the log, so n log 2 is greater than log k. So n is greater than log k divided by log 2. This is again a real number. So for this, Find out the closed positive integer, suppose denoted by m. So m is greater than this number. Then obviously for all choices of n which are greater than this number, this inequality holds, and that's why sequences are divergent sequence towards infinite. So in each example, we have to find out this positive integer m. If this exists, then we can say that sequence is a divergent sequence, maybe positive infinite or maybe infinite, minus infinite. Fine. If this number is not evaluated or does not exist, then we can say that sequences are not a divergent sequence. Fine. Now here we are taking some examples on boundedness. Whether sequence is bounded or not. So here we have taken 6 examples. First one, so discuss the boundedness of the following sequences an, where an is given by this. An is minus 1 raised to the power n into 5. An is equals to 2n plus 3 divided by 3n plus 4. An is 1 plus 1 by n raised to the power n. An is n cube, an is minus n square, and an is a series having finite number of terms. 1 by n square, 1 by n plus 1 square, 1 plus n plus 2 whole square, and so on. Last term is 2n raised to the power 2. And the result is already written here. But we will prove this. Take one by one. So first sequence is an minus 1 raised to the power n into 5. Now here n may be odd or even. Depending upon odd or even, if n is odd, we are getting minus 5. If n is even, we are getting 5. So we are having this kind of term. So that's why the sequence is bounded. So you can draw this sequence very easily. Here either we are having 5 or minus 5. So if 1, then sequence is, and 1 is an odd number, so minus 5 here. If 2, then we are getting 5. If 3, we are getting minus 5. So either this or this. That's why sequence is bounded, because the range set is finite. In the second example, an is 2n plus 3 divided by 4, which is obviously greater than 0 for all choices of n, because n is a natural number here. So that's why sequence is bounded below. Now 1 minus an evaluate. 1 minus of an, so this is also positive number. That means 1 minus an is greater than 0. So obviously an is less than. So obviously an is less than 1, and hence sequence is bounded above. So since sequence is bounded above as well as below, that's why sequence is bounded. Now this is very important example. Third, an is 1 plus 1 by n raised to the power n. Now expand this. So with the help of binomial, so 1 plus nc1 1 multiply by 1 by n, nc2 1 by n square, nc3 1 by n cube, and last term is ncn 1 by n raised to the power n. I think you have already aware about this formula. So this is binomial expansion. Now simplify this. nc1 is nothing but n, so n into 1 by n, plus nc2 is n into n minus 1 divided by factorial 2 multiply by 1 by n square, plus similarly nc3 is written here, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 divided by factorial 3 and multiply by 1 by n cube, plus and so on. And this will be the last term, ncn, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to 1 divided by factorial n multiply by 1 by n raised to the power n. Fine. Now here if you cancel out this, so you will get a 1 here. So here is 1, this 1 is here, 1 is here. Similarly here, if here is n into n minus 1 divided multiply by 1 by, so this can be rewritten as this, n into n minus 1 divided by n square. This can be written as, this power is cancelled out with this, so n minus 1 by n, which is nothing but 1 by 1 minus n. So this is written here. This multiply by divided by factorial 2. Similarly here, this is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2. When you simplify, so you will get this term divided by factorial 3. Similarly the last one, here is n raised to the power n, so we have to take n in with one each term and divide by n. So what we get this type of term divided by factorial n. Fine. But we know that what this quantity is less than 1, this quantity is less than 1, this quantity is less, so their product is also less than 1. So that's why each term, this type of term is less than 1. So we can replace each quantity by less than 1. So what we get, less than 1 plus 1. This quantity is replaced by less than 1, so 1 by factorial 2. This quantity is also less than 1, so 1 by factorial 3. This quantity is also less than 1, so that's why 1 by factorial n. So we are getting this term. So which is equals to 1 plus 1 plus, this is simplify. If you simplify, this is nothing but 1 into 2. simplify this, 1 into 2 into 3. Similarly, this factorial is nothing but 1 into 2 into 3 into n. Fine. Now since we have this relation, 2 is less than 3, so obviously 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3. So that's why similarly 2 is less than 4, so again 1 by 4 is greater than 1 by 2. So that's why you can replace every 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 2. So that's why each term is replaced by 1 by 2. So here 1 plus 1 plus this is nothing but 1 by 2. Here 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 can be replaced by 1 by 2. So that's why 1 by 2 into 2. Similarly here 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. How many times? These are total n terms in which 2 is already there. So the remaining terms are n minus 1. So these are total n minus 1 times. Fine. If you simplify this calculation, so we are getting this. So from here to here we are having a geometric series. So 1 plus in bracket this is a geometric series. Finite number of terms are there. So we have to apply this formula. This formula is written here already. So you just remember this formula, a into 1 minus r raised to the power n divided by 1 minus r. What is a? A is the starting term, which is 1. What is the ratio? Ratio is half. Simplify this. So this is nothing but 1 plus 2. 2 into 1 minus, from here you will get 1 by 2, which is nothing but 2 into 1 minus 1 by 2 raised to the power n. Multiply this 2 inside this bracket. So we get 3 minus 1 by 2 raised to the power n minus 1. This quantity is obviously less than 3. So this is the upper bound. So sequence is bounded above. Now here an again started with the same this equation. So we are taking equation number 1. So this is written here. But we have, since 1 plus 1, that means this total sum is 2 and all these quantities are positive quantities. So obviously this quantity is greater than 2 because the initial two terms, the sum of initial two terms is itself 2. So that's why this is greater than equal to 2. So sequence is bounded below by 2 and bounded above by 3. That's why the sequence is laying in between 2 and 3, and that's why sequence is bounded. Fine. This is very important example. Similarly here, fourth example, an is n cube, and since n is a positive integer, so obviously its value is greater than equals to 1 for all n belongs to n. That's why sequence is bounded below. Now we have to show that this sequence is unbounded above. Unbounded above means for an greater than equal to k, if you take any positive real number, the aim is to find out the positive integer m. If that number exists, then we can say that the sequence is unbounded above. So here let k is greater than be 0, be any positive real number however large, then an is greater than k, because our target is to show that this sequence is unbounded above. So we will start with this and try to find out m. So an is greater than k. What is an? An is n cube. So n cube is greater than k. So n is k raised to the power 1 by 3. So whatever be k, immediately you can find out a real number. So now for this choice of real number, find out the closest positive integer, and that closest positive integer is denoted by. So whatever be k, for example, suppose your k is 2, then k raised to the power 1 by 3 will be 2 raised to the power 1 by 3, which is I think 1.25 something. So on the real line here we have 1.25. So try to find out the close integer which is greater than this number. So obviously 2. So this is your m. And for any real number n here, for any real number which is greater than this number, this inequality holds. So for n is greater than equals to, n is greater than this number 1.25 for all choices of n greater than equals to m, which is nothing but 2 here. So this is written here. So that's why an is not bounded above, because we have evaluated this number, and hence this is not bounded above. Fine. Similarly this is bounded below. So an is minus n cube less than 0 for all n greater than equals to, this is already given to you. So an is, obviously this is less than 0, so that's why bounded above by 0. Now we will show that this is unbounded below. So we will start with this. Let k be any positive real number. So since an is, we have taken positive real, that's why minus k is written here. So an is minus k. What is an? An is minus n cube. So n cube. This is n square. this is n square. So n square is less than minus k, so multiply by minus sign, so n square is greater than k, so n is greater than root k. So find out whatever be k, you can easily find out root k, which is a real number, positive real number, and find out the closest positive integer close to root k, and that's why a number exists. That's why an is not bounded below, because this inequality holds, and that's why not bounded. Fine. Now the last example, an is a this type of function 1 by n square plus 1 by n plus 1 whole square plus 1 plus n plus 2i, and last term is n plus n whole square. So each term is, since 1 by n plus k, this is argument is given here, n plus k whole square is obviously greater than n square, because k is a positive number here, 1 2 3, so these are positive number, that's why k is positive number here, 1 2 and n. So that's why this is greater than this. So when you take the reciprocal, 1 by n plus k whole square is less than 1 by n. So each term can be replaced by 1 by n square. So that's why 1 by n square, 1 by n square, 1 by n square, 1 by n square. We are taking, how many terms are there? Total n plus 1 terms. So take their sum, n plus 1 divided by n square. So when you separate this, 1 by n plus 1 by n square, which is nothing but less than 2, because n is a natural number. So the largest value of 1 by n is 1. Similarly, the largest value of this quantity is 1. So that's why total sum is less than 2. So that's why an is less than 2 for all. That's why sequence is bounded above. And obviously, since this is the choice, so when you take n tending to infinite, then obviously the minimum value of this will be 0. So that's why an is greater than 0 for all n belongs to n, and sequence is bounded below. So sequence is bounded below, sequence is bounded above. That's why sequence is bounded. So these are the examples based on boundedness and divergence. In the next video, we will take few examples on monotonicity. Thank you.